Hi everyone, and thank you for joining June 2023's Stampin' Class by Mail. I'm Gina Wieselman of MySweetPaper.com, and I've teamed up with Brenda Cardinal, another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, to offer these monthly classes by mail. This month, Brenda will demonstrate how to stamp and assemble your cards, and next month, it'll be my turn. Have fun making your cards. Here's Brenda with the second of the 3 designs for you. Make sure to follow the links in the video description to access both of the other card designs.
Thanks, Gina. Are you ready to make some very handsome masculine cards featuring the Let's Go Fishing Suite from Stampin' Up's 2023 to 2024 annual catalog? I'm Brenda Cardinal of StampinTulip.stampinup.net, and I'm excited to show you how to stamp and assemble your cards this month. If you order a class kit by mail from either Gina or me, you already have your cardstock and embellishments cut and ready to go to make 3 each of our 3 card designs. All you need to do is pull out the stamp set, ink pads, and a few additional supplies shown here. If you didn't order a Stampin' Class by Mail kit and would like supply lists and measurements for each of our card designs, click the link below in the video description to join one of our email lists for that exclusive content and to receive invites to our future stamping classes. To place a Stampin' Up! Order and qualify for our promotions, make sure you use the host code for this month provided in the video description. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Please reach out to Gina or me if you need any stamping supplies or would like to chat about becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or host a Stampin' Up! Event. Let's get started. Our next card is our Happy Father's Day Tackle Box card. If you ordered a Stampin' Class by Mail kit, all the parts and pieces were cut to size and shipped right to you. If you didn't order a kit and would like to receive the measurements, go ahead and follow the link in the video description to sign up for one of our email lists. We'll start again by doing our stamping, and we're going to use our pebbled path for our first ink color. And we're going to bring in our inside piece, and I'm going to choose the So Glad That You're My Dad stamp for my inside piece. Now you could leave this blank if you wanted to, so you have plenty of room to write your dad a special message. Okay, and then we're going to bring in our tackle box. So our tackle box is comprised of 2 pieces. It's the base and then the lid of the tackle box. So let me show you those 2 dies. They're kind of interesting. So as I mentioned with the first card, this is where we got our label for our Happy Retirement card by cutting out just this much of this die. All right, so I wasn't sure quite how to go about this because there's a lot of stamping on that very vanilla piece, and I was worried that if I made a mistake and I'd already glued down my Calypso Coral tackle box cover, then if I couldn't flip it over and start again. So I decided to put some Post-it notes down here to hold the frame in place. And I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner, and I'm going to stamp it with this lure. Next, I'm going to do my bobber. And then Happy Father's Day. And I gotta tell you, some of this was inspired right from the catalog when I designed this card. I just thought it was so cool. All right, and then the other lure. All right, then let's come back with our Calypso Coral. And we'll add the color to our bobber. And then we'll bring in our Misty Moonlight ink. And we'll add some detail and color to that first lure we stamped. Looks like I didn't stamp that all the way down. There we go. And then we'll add a little color to our second lure. All right. And then there we go. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside so it can dry for a minute. And then I'm gonna bring my envelope in, and I think I like that little lure there. So I'm gonna bring back my Pebble Path ink pad, and I'm going to stamp that lure on my envelope. All right, just a little detail. If you wanted to do the bobber or the other lure, whatever you'd like. So then that's all of our stamping. So let's get started assembling a card. We'll bring in our Pebble Path card base, and then using our bone folder, we'll make that score line nice and crisp. Set that aside for a second. And then we'll add our designer series paper to the top and bottom of the inside piece using our Stampin' seal. So I'll attach this one to the bottom. Flip this around and attach this to the other end. And let's just double check. I like to make the little strips that I add a little long if I can, so that I don't have any of the, in this case, very vanilla cardstock showing, because it'll really show up against this darker card base. All right, so then let's add this to the inside of our card. This new Pebbled Path ink color I really, really like. Has just a touch of brown to it versus our basic gray. All right, and then let's bring in our stamped tackle box piece, and we'll add that to the front of our card base. And then with our multi-purpose liquid glue, we'll add our tackle box cover. Now make sure when you put this down that you have it going the right direction, right? And you know it's right because the hinge pieces are on the left, and the latch piece that you'd open your tackle box is on the right. So, and as always, this is great glue because it's a little forgiving, but make sure you don't get too much because you don't want to squish out and make your card base or your card front sticky. And I'm going to be really generous. Sometimes I don't go over every single line of what I'm trying to glue, but in this case I do want to do that. So I want to make sure it doesn't pop up anywhere. So this centers, like I said, it's a little forgiving, so you can play around with it a little bit if you don't like how you put it down the first time. And then we'll put a little pressure on that. Okay, and then we just need to add our little bobber that we're going to actually assemble. So let's bring those pieces in. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to add the very vanilla piece to the colored pieces. And you can do that either with your Stampin' Seal or the liquid glue. I'm going to go liquid glue here. And you can see that these little very vanilla die cuts fit on the lure perfectly. All right, and then I'm going to add a little glue to the center of both of them. And we're going to put these pebbled path pieces down the center of each bobber and try to get them, well, you want about the same amount of that pebble path piece extending beyond the bobber. I must have some glue on my hands. They keep sticking to my hands. Okay, and then once you have that, add a little bit more glue. Bring our card back in. Then you can decide, do you want the blue one to be on top? Do you want the Clips of Coral one to be on top? Oops. And I chose to put them so that the two colored pieces are next to each other and the very vanilla pieces are on the opposite sides. So if we bring our envelope back in, there's our second card design. Thanks for participating in this month's Stampin' Class by Mail. And now here's Gina with a few more things for you.
Thanks, Brenda. Follow the links in the video description for a few key things. Access to both of the other videos featuring this month's card designs, a link to sign up for one of our email lists so you can get exclusive content like the Class by Mail supply lists with measurements, access to our curated Pinterest board with even more ways to use the class supplies, and a sneak peek of next month's card designs featuring the bright and beautiful suite by Stampin' Up! Thanks for participating, and don't forget to click subscribe on this YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Until next month, happy stamping!